I mean, we've obviously been talking about it for a considerable period from the moment actually that Celtic uh, put Rangers out of the semi-final. It did look as if it was almost fated that would be almost like squaring the whole circle for Martin O'Neill if he was given that opportunity to go out at Hampden and see if he could win another trophy as Celtic manager. But the closer we get to it, that seemed like a bit fanciful, a bit romantic, a bit of a notion back then. But the closer we get to it, the more realistic it seems to become. I wonder what the Celtic fans out there are feeling, because certainly the comments that we've been getting over the last wee while, both into the paper and on Hotline Live, Dan, suggest that there's a groundswell of opinion now amongst Celtic supporters that that's exactly the scenario they want to see.
Yep, and if you're watching at home, let us know your thoughts on that and anything else that you want to discuss in tonight's show. I would go as far as to say, Keith, if there was a referendum with Celtic fans right now, I think it'd be a landslide to keep
Sack the
Martin O'Neill
board.
longer. There'd be that as well. But see, just on O'Neill, Mark McGee suggests it would benefit Nancy. What do you think if I put it to you that I think it would benefit everyone? I think it would benefit Nancy. I think it benefits Celtic because they're going into these games against Hearts, crucial at home.
You can't.
And I
Here's,
think O'Neill would love to do it until the cup final.
I'm sure he would. Here's my problem with that. If you've gone to the trouble of identifying the guy that you think is the best bet for Celtic, you think this boy is going to be top notch, he's the long term solution. I'm struggling. I think you need to engage in a little bit of mental gymnastics to arrive at a point where you think, well, it's okay, we just hold him off, just keep him away from the thing for a while because Martin O'Neill's in charge. I think you need to be more clear in your thinking here. You either think this is the guy that we want, therefore you get him in as quickly as possible, or you reach the conclusion that are we trying to fix something that ain't broken because Martin O'Neill's already done it? And can you convince Martin O'Neill to stay for the longer term? I don't know if these conversations are actually taking place right now. But I did say last night, it's all starting to feel a little bit mysterious, isn't it? There's a bit of intrigue to the whole thing. And Martin O'Neill doesn't look like a man or sound like a man who's in any rush to take that tracksuit off. I think he's rather comfortable in it.
I completely agree. And P. McLaughlin in the comments, and as I say, if you want to get involved, please do so. He points out that Martin O'Neill was in TalkSport today, and he did seem to say that Wednesday would be his last game. But then, look, I
He
think
said that before.
he said that before.
Yeah. He says it before almost every match,
Aye.
and then what do you know? Ah, well, there's been another conversation, and I've hidden some more paperwork, and so look. As I've said previously, and as I stated in my column this morning, in all probability, it is probably correct that there is some paperwork issue. It's just starting to stretch your belief a little bit because these things don't take anybody else so long to sort out. This, even by Celtic standards, is becoming a bit of a saga. But let's take everybody at their word and just assume that that's correct and it's nothing more than paperwork. But I still think what I said last night and what I've said in the column today stands, that the more success Martin O'Neill has with his side, the more wins he gets under his belt, the more momentum that the side begin to build under Martin O'Neill, the more of a potential downside there is to the Nancy appointment. And that's just a fact. I don't see there's any way of looking, any other way of seeing that. If Martin O'Neill was, as I said, 1-1, drawing one, losing one, winning one, then fine. I think everybody would say, well, this isn't going anywhere quick. Thanks very much, Martin, for coming in at the hour of need for the club. What an incredible servant he's been. But the fact of the matter is, he's come in. He's not just stabilised it. He's solidified the whole season for Celtic. They're about to go. I would imagine over the course of the next few days, they're about to hit the front in the SPFL title race for the first time in weeks, months, whatever. Having been really quite detached from Hearts for a period of time, they've made it past Rangers. They're into the first semi-final. He's solidified the European campaign and made progress there achievable for Celtic. And with each success, each little win that he has, I think the momentum builds and the fans are thinking, we don't want this to end. So I do think that presents the board with an issue. But probably, you would think, they're too far down the road with Wifried Nancy to just pull the plug on it, the 11th hour. I think. Although, as I did say, until this is presented as a fait accompli, this season has been so mental, even by Scottish football standards. This has been through the looking glass, this campaign. So anything is possible right now in this current climate. And with Dermot Desmond acting in such a bizarre, sort of unpredictable manner right now, which is something we've not seen before. Anything's possible until until the final kind of vision is delivered and it's all wrapped up in green and white bows and it's over, it's finished. This is what it is. Until then, I'm refusing to take anything for granted right now.
We're getting plenty of comments in on this, Keith. You can see one on your screen there. Tommy says, why not team O'Neill and Nancy up for the final? That would be good. But quite a strong reaction from fans. I'll run through a few now. Kevin Dunn says, Martin O'Neill should be there for the final. He helped guide them. I don't know if Martin O'Neill won't take the job long term due to age, but being made a chairman would be a fitting and make a lot of sense. Mark says, please drop this narrative, guys. The new manager should be installed ASAP. Kieran says we'd be in a much better place next season if O'Neill stays until the end of the season. Would suit Nancy perfectly too. Rebel says it's his last hurrah, let's have it. Mike says sentimental nonsense if O'Neill stays. Get the new man in ASAP. James wants him there though. Henrik McLarson, great name, says, not sure Nancy wants Martin O'Neill hanging around like your ex's father-in-law.
Yeah.
And the hippie says, it's risky bringing a new manager in at this time of the season. Why not give O'Neill to the end of the summer? Then the new manager can get the summer with the squad.
Because then Wilfried Nancy's sitting on his hands. Is he just meant to sit there and just think, well.
For 6 months.
Yeah, it just doesn't work like that. And one of these comments was right. There is a touch of rose-tinted sentimentality about the whole thing, and maybe the best way of viewing it is, look, it was great while it lasted. What a wonderful little adventure that nobody saw coming. Martin O'Neill has steadied the ship. They're not taking on water on the pitch at least, and it's all there. The season is set again for the new guy to come in. But I'm struggling with what the prevarication around it, the length of time it's taken. It doesn't feel right. It's taken longer than it should have done. And by the way, it's fair to say that Celtic supporters really deserve some sort of explanation. I know the board's in a huff for them right now, but that doesn't mean it's okay for them just to retreat from the public front line and say nothing while day after day.
One half update in 5 weeks.
Day after day, the 73-year-old manager's getting forced out and he's having to front it all up and answer questions on their behalf. Celtic supporters deserve better than that. They deserve to be treated like that. And it's not, I don't think it's a great look for the board just to say, oh, well, we're not talking to them anyway. We're on a huff. So, it all smacks of... And it's exactly what Martin O'Neill has managed to do. Do you know something? Against all odds, he's partly unified a situation which seemed that there was no hope for it to be anywhere near pulled back together. Martin O'Neill has somehow managed to do a bit of that. And if Wifried Nancy could come in, hit the ground running, start winning games, then maybe the whole thing just starts to get back together again from a Celtic perspective. But as I keep coming back to, I do think Martin O'Neill has presented Wifried Nancy with a problem, because follow that one, son.